Hello, Phoenix Song here again, and doing another tutorial on Syntakt. This time, like the last challenge where I did all Swarm as a kit, this one I'm going to use all Raw as a kit. So Raw is the new machine on Syntakt that is a variation of maybe the dual VCO, but makes things a little clearer, and it's a great tool to use. And today I'm going to utilize that to build a full kit. Unlike the last one where I had 8 tracks to build up a kit with Swarm, where the first 4 were like drum tracks and the second 4 were all various melodic parts. This one, as you may know, there's only going to be 3 tracks you can use for the Raw machine, whereas this one is going to be, can be cymbal or noise. It can't be the new Raw machine. So it's a very different equation than making a whole kit with 8 tracks. We have to use only 3 here. And that's kind of reminds me of when I had the A4. I had a Mark I. And that, if you wanted to use that to build a whole kit, you had to get a little creative. So I bet if you use Electron, you already know where this is going. But let's play this beat a little bit and show you what I've done here. Okay, so you can hear that we've got a kind of a nice acid type tone on the bass. The Raw can do a lot of different types of bass tones, not just acid. But here I did that because it sounds pretty cool with this. So let's break it down what the first track of Raw is doing for us. Obviously, kick, drum, and snare. So let's see. So these two are just kick with varying amounts of distortion. This one, a little bit of noise, still a kick, and then this is the snare. Yeah, so more noise. And here we go, have a little reverb boost and a little bit of the release is different. I think the same, not so much release on this. These ones have a little bit of release, but really sharp attack or sharp decay, and then more noise on these. So that creates a nice tone. And let's move on, keep this rolling along. So second track, all hi-hat. Cool. So use the high pass filter to cut out a lot of the lower things, but you can see I used the to give it that tone. That's the ring modulator setting, and for these notes you can hear it. So this one opens up the decay a little bit here, and that will happen on various ones here. So yeah, and this one opens up that. So some really cool things, just using 2 tracks. Really, it's the drums. It's not doing all the toms, or you could do toms mixed in there, but I just did a basic beat here because we've got 3 tracks. And then what are we doing here? So yeah, just using one oscillator to give it more of a 303 sound, and some, let's see, yeah, cool stuff here. So this will be a nice way to build a beat, and obviously you still have all the other 9 tracks to build a real kit out of. So, and then I extend it into a second pattern that goes a little bit more interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but the third one is faster and more like a real more typical acid track. So if you like this, I'll be happy to share this on one of my sites that you can just download the project file. Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to necessarily do that unless I hear some comments asking for it. Yeah, so that's just really 3 tracks of the Syntakt. You could build so much on top of it with all the other tracks, but maybe you don't need to. It's really good stuff. So same tones on all 3 of these patterns. And let me look at this and see, because remember that one of the new things on the latest OS update was you can turn on the Portamento and the Portamento time per step. So I use that sometimes. I think I used that on the first demo one. Oh, there it is. Good. So you can hear that I'm sliding some notes using Portamento, not on the whole pattern, just on certain P locks. So that's how you can do acid slides. Let's mute those other tracks. So cool. Oh, fun. I love that tone. Would love to build some songs out of that. Let's start this from scratch. So we go. So completely from scratch, basic track. Double click synth. You go down to raw. Ooh, that's kind of a bad default because it just goes on forever. What's that? Because this envelope. There we go. Cool. All right, so let's try a sine wave. Let's turn down. Cool. Okay, so like I showed you on the other tutorial on Swarm, you can make just about anything into a kick drum. So how do you do that typically? Okay, you start with something, and we could give it a little noise, just for that initial transient attack. And then you come to LFO and turn it to tune, and this won't sound very good. You would not want that. So you take it to exponential. Where did it go? There we are. All right. And you turn this to 1, for it's like a one shot, and almost turns the LFO into just a envelope. It does. Okay. So maybe that's too much. Maybe turn up the speed. Let's get the BPMs off, because if you change the tempo, I was thinking about this, you wouldn't want that necessarily to change. All right, so why maybe we take it down, octave, yeah, holding function, quick. That's cool. Yeah, didn't need that much noise. Right now, so that's a different tone. You know, some 909 kicks were kind of like that. Yeah, probably don't want an octave down, but actually I know some 909 kicks, or at least some Eurorack modules, have a sub oscillator on them, so that this could work. And maybe no, probably that could work if you mix it down. Typically it's a sine wave or a triangle. See, there's 2 different sine waves, sine and analog sine, so both of those are useful. And if that's too high for your taste, you could take it down to, sorry, nice. Okay, so yeah, sometime there you go. So yeah, so some 808 kicks might be like that. If you're doing 808, you probably, that could be useful. But if you want to That's nice too. So let's take it. Really quick. Maybe give it a little more drive. Perfect. This is not like the other one. Okay, so then what I did on the other track is we take it to a high pass filter, bring it down like that, and give it a resonance boost. Really gives it a nice low end boost here. And you can even do, but I won't. Yeah. So, very different from what we had on the other demo kit, but this could be a nice variant. Maybe I'll take the whole back. Just remember this, you'd want to turn the noise. But that could be, so some type of kind of hybrid 808 kick could go that way if you wanted to. So let's start P-locking. So like just 4 on the floor, and then easy to do this. You just hold down 5 and 13 and give it some noise. Let's see where it goes. All right, maybe it doesn't even need, but I could make the decay up. Sounds about right. And let's give it some reverb on those. And that's the basics of it. You don't need to really do too much else for that 4 on the floor beat. You know, maybe we would, if you wanted acid, we'd turn it about 130, 138. But you're not necessarily wanting that only. Cool. All right, that's your kick and snare. One thing I did on the, you could also add fills here, like that. But anyway, don't need to do everything. Okay, so we're on to the second track of it. Let's go in, and even though I've got all these great machines we could use, we're just trying to learn raw really again with that. Yeah, that's probably what we want. And we're going to use ring modulator here for the hi-hats. There's other ways to do it. So doesn't have to be like this, but this is one type of analog hi-hat tone that has been used over the years. Okay, and this one is really important to use high pass. I use high pass on a lot of drums. So it depends on where you want that to sit, but you can have higher or lower frequency cutoff. Otherwise, you just get a lot of extra low end. So for this, you know, you could, I'm not sure. Let's start with that just because we're going quick here for the from scratch tutorial aspect of things. And then maybe open up the, no, not that. Oh, and filter. You want amp, and then that's all you got to do to open the hi-hat. And hold down 2. That could work. I think I like it on 7 and 15 better. But if you want to take off a P-lock, you just click the encoder. Cool. Yeah, that's fun. All right, so, and then, okay, that's dual VCO still, so we want to take that and turn it to raw. So yeah, if you want to build an acid type bass, you know, you could could be saw, or it could be square wave. Let's turn. Really wasn't noise on a 303, but let's turn the amp down because that's going to be too. All right, we need the filter to do its thing. Could do that, but that's more like the devilfish. That's not going to necessarily be original 303 tone, but I like it. So you could add a little delay. And then I like to put an LFO on the frequency cutoff because that just makes it a little less static, and you know, some original 303s could do that. So if you think about it, I really didn't have to do too much to that. So I think the raw is sort of geared to be a little bit like an acid bass from the get-go. So that's a cool place. So if we just okay, so there you go. Fun. So the beat's good. Got a basic. I think on my original ones that I did, there was some other little things I did to fine tune the tone of the acid bass. So hopefully I can share that one out too. But I'm gonna save this kit too, just in case we need it for reference. So we've got. And then let's go to the last one and see. Whoa, it's a lot thicker. All right, so I am using the second oscillator. That's part of it. Lots of good stuff going on here, actually. Yeah, so you can see what's going on. But it's cheating. It's got that second oscillator where the other one. Cool. That's a pretty nice little summary of how to get the raw machine and get the most out of that. It's a powerful one. I know I hopped into the Swarm and did lots of things on that first, but that's it. I mean, the Super Saw / Angry Bees Swarm is just so awesome, and so I definitely wanted to do a lot with that first. But now, having a little bit extra time, getting to the raw machine has been awesome. I definitely love it just as much as the Swarm because it's pure analog in this tiny box. It's so useful. And it's, as you can see, I think the point of this is just to show you how much you could do with just raw. Obviously, you've got, this could be nice. You can always use that to save this track and make another use of raw. But man, there's just so much good stuff in the raw machine. I wanted to talk about that today. Please like and subscribe. This has been a nice series on Syntakt. I think what I'm going to do after this is move over and do some tutorials on Octatrack next, and also the MC707, because I discovered some really cool things on that with the latest update and some of the older things. I just wanted to shift gears soon and talk about some of the cool things I've been finding on some of the other gear. I'm a big enthusiast for the Syntakt. I think it's really a perfect machine, and so I've been really focusing heavily on that, and I just happy to share it. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.